We're just going to ask you a few questions so we understand about you a little bit more. So we'll start with some simple ones first. Like, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
Blue?
Like dark blue, light blue?
Because you have blue eyes.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to get that chair out of the way. I can't see any. He's coming in.
That's okay. What's your favorite flower?
I don't know.
I thought you had one. You told me once.
I don't like roses because they die too fast.
They got those prickly thorns on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they and I can't think of the ones. We had one, when it was Mother's Day.
Uh-huh.
And we went up to Webster to get a hamburger and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they gave me a flower, a single flower, and that thing lasted for
forever.
Almost a.
Was it a goldfish?
Yeah. It just.
But you don't have a favorite? Like peonies or violets or.
What are the ones Grandma and Grandpa had in the pool?
Hydrangeas?
They had the little bulb and they would get up and the ants would crawl all over them.
Yeah.
I know what those were.
I can't think of what they are.
No, but if you had.
But Grandma liked roses, right?
Yeah.
That's why Grandpa had all the different colors.
Yeah, all up front.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
So you didn't have any. So if you had to pick one, what would it be?
Carnation, probably. Or something.
What
What
do
they call them?
Don't they give you those for the dance?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. What about something else? So, where did you go? Where's your first school?
Holy Rosary.
Holy Rosary, grade school, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a school.
She showed me a picture the other day. Oh. She was in fourth grade, sitting in front of the classroom.
I thought they were the newer church.
No. Oh,
How come you go to St. Peter and Paul?
we did.
Oh.
Is that older?
They got. I think it was in about the 5th grade. Transferred over to St. Pete's.
Okay, St. Peter and Paul in 5th grade.
Did everybody go there? Like Robert, Ronnie, Johnny?
Yeah.
They went to Holy Rosary, then to St. Pete's?
No, they didn't go to.
That's what I thought. They went to St. Pete's, right?
Yeah.
Were you the only one that went
It was only Jerry and Dick and me.
They went to Holy Rosary first?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then you graduated from St. Peter and Paul and you went to high school.
Mesmer.
Yeah.
That's a long haul, wasn't it? How'd you get there?
By bus.
I was going to say, that's a long walk.
They came and picked you up? Where did they pick you up from?
On Oakland Avenue.
Was it the city bus?
Yeah, it's a city
really?
bus.
It wasn't a school bus. It was a city bus.
We didn't have
school bus.
I don't think the school bus would go that far, but did all of you guys go to Mesmer? I thought Jerry, did somebody go to Pius?
No. Jerry didn't, Dick didn't. Mike did. And Robert and Johnny.
Ronnie went to
me. And Ronnie went to the cathedral.
Yeah. That's where Johnny went. Where'd Jerry go?
I don't know where he went. It was.
Or did you just say he went to high school?
Yeah.
Like you said, he went to
Notre Dame.
Notre
Yeah, he was
Dame.
in his high school. I don't know. I think he went to Marquette for a while.
Really?
High school.
That's where Dad went, so that's a longer way to go. Marquette High.
Did he ever graduate? Jerry?
From high school?
And we never went to college, right?
No. No, he never went to college.
Yeah. But he didn't did he graduate from high school?
No,
No.
He dropped out. What did he start doing?
he was doing construction
And that's how
for
he
a
got
while.
that's how he got into appraising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the construction, and he was an appraiser. So, uh-huh. So, what's your favorite subject in school? What were you good at?
Math.
Math.
The numbers girl.
I don't know anything.
Right?
about
That's
it.
all right. They told us when we were growing up we never use a calculator.
Yeah.
It's all we use now.
You didn't like anything else? No English, no art, no history. Didn't get in on that. Just math, right? Were you bad at any subjects? Did you ever fail a class?
No.
Never.
No.
No.
You have a 4.0 grade
I
average?
did Latin for
Wow, that was the big
That's a
thing.
3
Catholic thing.
years.
That's a
Yeah.
big thing back then.
You speak any of that now?
No.
That's okay. I took Swahili in college. All I know is Hujambo.
Yeah, Germany. Just go to Animal Kingdom. They'll teach you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
What did you want to be growing up? Because I know you worked other jobs, but
Didn't know.
didn't know. Just wanted to graduate, right?
Graduated, and then I worked for Alan
Bradley, right?
Bradley.
What'd you do there?
I had those little things you have to stick.
Fuses?
Yeah.
Switches.
So for yeah, and
The
whatnot.
switches and controls.
Yeah.
So you just assembled those? How long did you work
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd they pay you back then?
$1 an
I
hour?
don't know.
If even
I
that.
didn't get much.
Yeah.
Mine. You can look at the.
You still got pay stubs?
No, I never.
How'd you get there?
My uncle. Norby. No. Not. No.
Norbert?
Norby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norby. There you go.
Worked there and got me in.
They
to
got you a
do
job?
that. Yeah.
They pick you up every day, take you to work?
No. Took
No?
the bus.
Take the bus.
Wow.
You're a boss.
And then I bought it. Then I bought a car.
What'd you buy?
Oh.
A Studebaker.
Studebaker. What year?
1960, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
2-door, 4-door?
Mm,
Black,
Two-door.
probably?
No, blue.
Oh, blue. All right.
Did you buy it brand new or was it used?
Brand new.
Oh, see, you were rolling in the money from your
Wow.
job. So
Did you get it down the driveway?
we should
Oh,
park
yeah.
on the
All
street.
right. Didn't everybody have
Everybody-
cars back then?
Yeah.
A full driveway?
Hmm.
So they had the garage so deep so they could park them all in the driveway. So, so that was your first job. Is that the only job you had for a while then?
Yeah.
You didn't do anything else, right? You didn't work anywhere else.
No, because I got married and
Yeah.
John was in radio
Yeah.
and I was helping out setting up
Remotes.
for football and basketball games.
Sports
Yeah.
and marching bands,
Mm,
right?
The Christmas shows.
the Christmas shows.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
those. So we all know 2459 North Bartlett. What was it like living in there with 6 brothers?
Noisy.
Right? How was it in there with that many brothers in one bathroom?
Yeah, you knocked on the door all the time and get out.
Who took the longest? So
They're questioning me. I don't know.
Uh,
They're putting me in jail. No.
so
They
is it Jerry?
Nick Dick did it sometimes.
Took his time.
Yeah, picked on me.
And what was your room? Which one was your room?
Upstairs,
Front or back?
at the back.
The back one, the first one up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that always your room, or did you rotate?
No.
Yeah. So it was the only room you ever had there.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd everybody else stay?
Well, Jerry was in the front one.
Up front? I mean downstairs?
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
And I don't know where Dick died. Or,
Maybe just put him in a basket.
yeah.
Was Robert always in the basement?
Yeah. Yeah. He was always in the basement.
And where Johnny? Where was Johnny's room?
It was the middle, off the dining room.
The
Ronnie
Ronnie's
turned
room.
in Ronnie's room, huh?
Yeah. Who originally stayed in Great Grandma's room?
The front bedroom,
The front bedroom.
downstairs, off the living room. Was there anybody in there?
And where?
Off the living room, the bedroom,
Great Grandma's.
the
Bedroom.
front bedroom.
The front of the house, first floor.
Oh, the first one up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the room we used to stay in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's when Grandma Primark was,
Who was there before
Living.
her?
Yeah.
yeah, it was,
Which one of you kids had that room?
well, before us. I don't know. Who went into which one?
Oh,
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
it's pick a bed and sleep in it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So that was a house. So then, did you have any chores around the house? Did Grandma give you guys any chores? Did you have to clean up the dishes or take out the trash? I don't know.
They take care of the rabbits. Right?
I had to go out and help my dad.
Oh, we did that too.
6 o'clock. You gonna help your grandpa or not?
Yeah.
You sleep all day?
Yeah, because Mom said, Dad needs some help. You better go out. and
See,
help
she
him."
pulled that
It's
on
the
us
same
too.
thing she said. Yeah, same thing she said.
She said she'd wake us up in the morning. Your grandfather's outside. Go help him.
Yeah.
He needs help.
It's 6 in the morning.
He just got back from church and he was working already. So what would Grandma say? What were you like as a child?
She's
I
an
was,
angel.
Yeah.
Being
I
the only
would-
girl,
Yeah.
the brothers were the trouble.
Yeah.
So like the second mother, you kept them all in order, kept them in shape.
Mhm.
Did you ever get in trouble? Never
No.
snuck out or got caught by?
No,
Get a detention in school?
no.
No.
No. Wow. So then Grandma and Grandpa, obviously they kept you busy all the time, but what were they like as parents? Were they just kind of like, everybody needs to help out with work, or they didn't ground you a lot there, any of the kids, did they?
Oh, yeah. Dick.
He sounds like a troublemaker.
Yes, he was.
What would they do when they grounded him?
Got a good spanking.
Yeah.
With a wooden paddle? Did Grandma use a wooden paddle? Did she use it?
Yeah.
The same wooden pedals he used on us.
Yeah.
And everybody else, they had the crack and the piece missing because
Oh.
we spanked so many people.
So Grandma was the disciplinarian. Grandpa usually wouldn't.
Mhm.
Did Grandpa ever get mad at you guys?
He did not much.
No, mostly Grandma.
Yeah.
Sure.
He just
He worked a
play
lot.
around. Mhm.
He always worked at US Steel, right? Or Super
Yeah.
Steel,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Well, he just did a sheep to work. So then I know when we would stay there, we would go with Grandma and pick up Grandpa from
Yeah.
work. I mean, obviously you were older. Did you ever have to do that? Go pick him up from work
A couple times, yeah,
yeah.
because I had got my car, so
So just,
go
what,
get
what were the family cars that you remember?
And how'd you get everybody in them?
it. Had some Chevys,
You had a station wagon, right?
station wagons. Then they go on trips. And I didn't get it.
You didn't get
What?
to go on the trips?
Yeah,
You did or didn't?
I didn't
Why?
because, well, when Mike graduated from high school, he could pick out where to
Where you wanted
where
to
to
go?
go for vacation,
Yeah.
and it was, I think, New York World Fair or whatever.
Ah,
And I think Johnny and Robert, they went out to California
Uh-huh.
with them.
Did he give you a trip when you graduated from?
No, I got to paint the house.
So everybody else went and you were left to paint the house? Or did somebody else stay behind?
Yeah, yeah, that's the little ones, I think, did.
So you had to watch the little ones while they
Yeah.
were gallivanting across the country.
because they had the babysitter built in. That's why.
Was there any vacations you did go on?
Yeah, we went to Michigan with my dad's parents, and I got to drive their car.
What they have? You have a fancy car?
No, it's just an average.
Yeah. Farm car. You went to Michigan? What'd you do up there?
Oh, went to Detroit. We went to was it Green? They have the museum with all the cars that they were.
Oh, the antique.
Bowling Green.
Yeah,
That's a,
I can't something like
Kentucky.
Green. Yeah,
but that's you're talking about the museum of cars up in Detroit, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Lansing.
yeah.
Mhm.
We seen, and then we went up one time in northern Michigan.
Uh-huh.
It's northern Wisconsin, really. Though.
Yeah.
So they take a lot of vacations with you, or with so many kids, it sounds like they did a little bit here,
Yeah.
a little bit there with the groups.
Yeah. No, we went. Well, sometimes we went up to around Spooner, but it's Stone Lake.
Yeah.
Aunt and uncle, they lived up there.
Yeah.
They raised sheep. The house burnt down.
Oops.
Sleeping with the sheep.
Yeah.
That was quite after they left.
So then great grandpa and grandma's farm in Montrose. Did you go out there a lot as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. They leave you out there and just say, hey, we're going to pick you up next week? Or what would
She
you do?
did. She did the. I'm going to spend summer with grandma and grandpa, right?
Yeah.
What'd you do on the farm?
Did picking the apples, making applesauce, pick the cherries, take the cherries,
They have
get
walnuts,
them. No,
hickory nuts.
no,
What was that big tree?
cherries, red cherries.
What was that big tree we used to go out to?
And it was just, you picked it up, helped them can it. And
Yeah.
What did he farm? What did he grow?
nothing.
He leased the land
Just
out there.
he had like an apple
orchard.
short. Yeah.
But did he own the land and did he lease it out or rent
No.
it out? He just had a small little.
It was pretty. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
They had a lot of fire, flowers.
Mhm.
Grandma always had
Yeah, I remember that up front.
big,
Or the raspberry
thing.
bushes.
and then yeah, I could ride the raspberries. Nobody else could.
Ah. Mhm.
That's the good part, right?
Yeah, because I ate them all.
I know. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. But they never grew anything on their land that they like sold.
No,
No. Alright.
But they raised chickens, right?
they had some chickens, yeah, for a while.
Did you chop their heads off?
Mm. Yep, we saw them and saw them running around without their heads.
That's where that comes from. Remember, with your head chopped off.
Did you ever have to do that?
They didn't have to chop
And they
them.
fly into you when
No.
they get their heads cut off.
Yeah. Is that where you got your rabbits from? Because you had rabbits back in
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
I don't
right?
know where he had them because they had neighbors would come over and get a rabbit to eat.
Up at
Awesome pepper.
Yeah,
Up like grandpa, great grandpa's, up by Montrose.
grandpa, your grandpa.
Our grandpa.
in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well,
He was selling rabbits out of the backyard.
just like
Mhm.
trapped them like you trapped raccoons.
Yeah.
And they'd have rabbit
I
stew for
thought
dinner.
and he said they were mean, weren't they? Were they mean rabbits? That's why.
I don't
That's why.
remember.
That's why he cooked them.
But I thought you had a pet one day. Didn't you have a pet rabbit?
Mean rabbits.
Might have. I don't know.
I thought you came home
That
one day
was
and your
when we
pet rabbit
were
was
really
gone.
little. I
Yeah.
was really little.
You didn't have any pets though growing up, right?
No.
Just the Johnny, Robert, and
These are
Ronnie.
6
Yeah.
brothers. So then, going back to school, when you went to school, did grandma make lunches or did you eat at the school?
I ate at the school.
Oh, they give you lunches over there. So grandma wasn't making you oatmeal chocolate chip cookies like you made us, right?
And then we eat them out of the freezer. I don't know what happened to them.
We went to Miss
Messler.
Yeah. They're celebrating their 100-year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You going?
No, it's
Nobody. You don't know anybody.
no.
Mhm.
It's Robert. Robert. You don't know Robert.
I don't know if
goes.
Robert's going or
No.
not, because he was.
So then you played the accordion. When did you pick that up? Did they make you take music class here in school? That's where you learned it?
No. We took had a piano, and then Jerry got an accordion,
Jerry got you into it.
Yeah.
and
He's not German. He's Irish.
and then I got him, and I probably was in 5th, 6th grade or something. Because we had little shows in downtown. Play the accordion, and we had a picnic. The store had a with all the accordion and the drummers, and it was just for a while. Then I quit.
How'd you learn how to play? Did you take lessons or did
Yeah, I took lessons.
Yeah.
You still pick up the accordion and start playing,
Did they know if they
right? She had her brother, the Patrick Party Band. They were doing polkas and
I
beer
took-
gardens.
I took piano lessons when I was young, and I forgot everything. So,
Yeah.
see, just don't know. But you like the accordion, so
Still has it.
all right.
Yeah, I have it. I haven't played it for a long time.
Get some oompa.
What was your
out
favorite
there.
song? Roll Out the Barrel?
Yeah. hmm
So then, with the family, like you made us dinner tonight, what type of meals remind you of Grandma's cooking? Where's she?
Oh, you're
Whatever.
talking about the spaghetti.
No, when you were growing up as kids, what were
I'm
her
a squirrel.
uh,
That's chicken.
what were her favorite dishes to make you and the boys?
I don't know. Just that some potatoes and meat.
Didn't get really fancy back then, did
And
she?
chili that turned into sloppy
No.
joes that turned into
No,
spaghetti.
she made the pies for
The rhubarb
Thanks.
pies.
no. They were pies that it's like a vanilla pudding,
Mm-hmm.
and then the topping is what do they call
the
it?
meringue, like you did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that where you got the idea from?
Yeah.
The
And
ones,
she did it.
the ones he made for Thanksgiving.
Did she use graham cracker crust too, or did
Yeah.
you do that?
No, you rolled it out. And
Okay.
Mhm.
You added a graham cracker later. That's much better.
because, yeah.
So then that kitchen was kind of small. So how did you get 7 kids and Grandma and Grandpa to eat dinner at the same time
We had a big table.
in that little kitchen?
Yeah.
Were you just all small?
Yeah. Well, you got 2 at each end,
It
and
was a narrow table.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's us 3 around the table. It was kind of crowded. But, you all somebody be in a high chair at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No.
who's the first to move out of the house? Jerry?
Yeah.
And
We got married.
then who was next?
Dick.
Yeah. He just said, I'm out of here, and he moved out.
We got married.
Uh-huh.
And ended up living in Minnesota for a while.
Dick lived in
Dick.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Is that where he met Elmo?
You're married and moved.
Elmo, yeah, she came from Germany.
She's like, I thought it was Czechoslovakia or something like that. Which would make sense if she was up in Minnesota. Who was your favorite relative?
Do you have a favorite uncle? Favorite aunt? Favorite
I had
cousin?
Aunt Lillian,
Who was
who
she?
was Uncle Vern's wife.
Oh. So on Grandpa's side?
Yeah.
She just liked you, or you liked her?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
talked right there.
Yeah.
Did she have kids that were your cousins or no?
She had a little girl, and then a little boy later, a lot later.
So they didn't know. They didn't have too many boys around, or they had too many boys around.
Yeah.
So the girls were. That's a Patrick thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There just weren't a lot of girls on the Patrick side of the family.
Oh.
I know his grandpa's. We were all brothers until the last 2. Then they had 2 girls, and they said, I didn't know he had that many brothers. I mean, I counted them up. I know he had all those brothers, but that was a big family.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than yours. What do you have? 10? Between
Oh. Uncle Joe. He had 11 kids.
Jeez.
Good Catholic.
and
You had twins, and then one more said, "That's enough."
and how many? I think there was pretty close. I think they had a few more. Pretty well even,
Everybody.
boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
So then the houses you lived in. So you lived in a house before Bartlett, right?
No.
That's the only house you lived in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So was everybody born in that house?
Yeah, they bought that.
Jerry.
Almost like somebody left a message on the phone.
Oh.
Heard them talking.
Jim was
Or Jerry?
or Jerry. Yeah, Jerry. When Jerry got married, he lived in.
Oh, he was up towards Pond.
They were up to my grandma and grandpa, and they had a trailer.
In Montrose?
No, it was in Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
And Dick, I think, because he was born a couple of years later.
So were you the first one born in the house, or was it Mike? No, it would have been.
They weren't burnt. They were in the hospital.
Well, no, but where were you living when they were
living?
born? I mean,
Yeah, because
so they lived
Dick was very small.
Yeah, but they lived in another house. Was that in Waupun or somewhere else?
No, it was just I don't know, 3-4 blocks away from
Bartlett.
Bartlett.
I didn't know
Because
that.
Grandma met Grandpa at the Eagles Club, right? In Milwaukee?
Mhm.
Is that where Grandma met Grandpa?
It was. What did you say?
At the Eagles Club? The dance
it
club,
was
right?
the Eagles Club.
Yeah. Because they met in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's where they first met. And how long did they date before they got married?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
How would she know?
I thought they would tell you, but
Right. They didn't sit down and have an interview.
Grandma and Grandpa told stories, but
they didn't talk about stuff like that
well,
back then.
you knew that they met at the Eagles Club, so
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Grandma told me that.
Yeah. Did Grandma have a job at all?
No.
Raising 6 boys and a girl.
No. I mean, you growing up. I thought she had a job before she got married.
She might have, I think, because of their father died.
And she was older than Grandpa, so.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. All right. So then, transitioning to us. So, were you bowling the night that we were born?
No.
I want to know what's wrong with him. Did you drop the bowling ball on him?
I had my highest score on the
game of your life going on
that night. And then it was about 6 o'clock, the water break. And I had to go to the doctor, and that's when he sent me to the hospital.
You were bowling in Boston?
No, I was in Boston. I was
bowling.
bowling the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the alley is a Quick Trip now. We tried to look it up, and it just said bowling alley. And alley, that's the Quick Trip.
It was.
And you had to drive all the way to Hillsboro?
Yeah.
That was a long, we drove, that was a long drive.
Yeah. You get to the corner and you go, okay,
Yeah.
I got to go because I called the doctor.
It's
The
not a
doctor
straight
said,
road.
come to the doctor. So I had to go left. And then I got there and he says, nope. He says, you get on that road and you go straight to the
How
hospital.
do you know? You didn't have cell phones. Where did we get lost?
Yeah. It's probably dark
Like,
out.
Those
It was in the
roads-
morning. It was in the
It
morning.
was in the morning, so you were in the hospital that long because we were born at night, weren't we?
Yeah, 703 and 706.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Late because he had to go to the dentist. So I had to hold
Wait
it.
for the doctor to go to the dentist. All
And I
right.
kept saying, don't push, don't push. He'll be here pretty soon.
Dr. Baker.
So
Mhm.
you were bowling the night before, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't the
Yeah.
day we were born.
Did you drink during the beer
And
fire?
I had one of the gals was pregnant too.
What was in the water?
And and she heard I had twins. She says, oh my, well, what am I going to have? Because she was out to really, and I
Really big,
wasn't.
huh?
Yeah.
No. But you didn't know you were going to have twins.
Nope.
No.
You were the surprise.
The
Exactly.
doctor always says, boy, he's got a big, good heart.
I do.
And
So they deliver Jim, and then you're like, oh, I'm all done. And they're like,
Yeah.
wait, time out?
another one came. But it was pretty fast there too. It was only a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's
Well, Dad didn't know any of this
later.
until afterwards, huh? Oh, by the way, your baby's out.
Yeah.
And you got another one. It's Tuesday. It's Thursday technically, but
Yeah.
it's 2 for Thursday.
But they,
Was that our due date? Was that around our due date? We were early?
it was pretty close.
Yeah. Well, the due date, not our due date.
Yeah.
And he brought us home and put us in the front window.
Yep. That's the only place we could put him.
House wasn't big enough. Didn't have a.
No, it wasn't.
He had a baby crib for one, and
That's a busy road. Everybody come driving by and see the twins in the window.
Yeah, when you walked around,
We were the hit of the town.
Yeah.
Show the town.
yeah.
So now, how did you tell us apart?
I got bracelets to
Well,
put,
Oh,
we
put
know we didn't
under on
mess
the
up.
leg. Yeah.
bracelets.
I
Yeah.
don't even know we didn't mess up.
Yeah.
You
You
didn't
got
take 'em
bracelets
off.
on?
I
I
thought
never-
I gave them to you.
Well, yeah,
Well,
the
the ones
little
from the
ones from the
hospital.
hospital, yeah.
Yeah.
But after
No.
you brought us home.
Yeah, after.
You left them
I
on?
had them made.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had the hospital ones. I don't have the other ones, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't even know about those. What were they? Just like little silver bracelets or something? Or
Yeah. They were just really.
they have a name on it?
I
or
thought
they
I gave you
or
guys
just
Yeah,
say
that.
number one
I'd
and
say
number
that.
two?
I'll have to find out where it is then,
Number one.
because
Do they have a name on it or anything?
yeah,
Oh.
had your name.
How long did we have those?
It was
Till we got
Not-
shoes, and then you
not
started
quite
going,
a year, but
And then
It
how
got to
did
Did it say Don and Jim or Donnie and Jimmy?
I think it was just Jim and Don.
Uh,
But I well, I didn't. I did a little bit where you both had the same clothes on, but
uh,
not
would
for
swap our
long
tops and bottoms
because
when you were
we
there.
uh-huh.
We'd switch. One was like blue, one like brown. Or
I think I was blue, and he was always the red and the brown guy.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Not judging.
Still brown. Still got my tan going.
And
So how'd
you
you-
wouldn't wear each other's clothes
I don't wear
either.
his clothes. Is that why you bought like 2 different outfits, colors, and then he get the top and I get the bottom, and vice versa? I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the blue and the yellow.
How'd you tell us apart when we got older? What was there? What was the distinct differences?
What's the tell?
Well, when you're in school, you didn't wear the right,
Well, no.
No,
Did he have
you
a
were
bigger head or a rounder head or a square head or? Yeah.
Was there something that identified us that you could tell the difference afterwards?
Yeah.
What was that? All right,
I don't know, but I know to know that.
and you could tell. You could tell the difference.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And why'd you write initials on the bottom of our shoes?
So I know what shoes.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's just for the shoes. It wasn't to tell us apart. It's just the shoes.
I don't want to wear your shoes.
Uh-huh. And you said there were stories of us in the cribs rolling across the room.
Oh, that's in the beds.
Yeah, where was that at?
That was in West Bend.
Yeah. What would we do?
You would shake the reels because it's got reels on it.
They got
It
the
would
wheels,
slide
On the
around
wooden
the
floor.
room.
Yeah. Because we were hungry or just wanted your attention or
They wanted to see, you two wanted to see which one is better
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. And then what would happen? We'd
They
get
were
in-
told to go to bed and
Oh,
stay in bed.
uh-huh.
I thought we'd roll it over the door and then you couldn't get in the room
Yeah.
because we blocked the door.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I want to go back to that story where his head was stuck in there.
Where was that? Where did I get my
That
head
was in
stuck?
Boston.
What was I doing?
You must have been with your feet going doop, doop, and then your head, because you were so small,
Went through the other side.
it went right through the bars.
At the crib, right?
Right? Not the jail.
Your head did.
Jim's like,
That's it. We weren't the same. Were we in the same crib?
Yeah.
Oh.
oh,
Maybe
We
I
only had room
maybe I
for.
pushed you out. I don't know. Sorry about
Thanks
that.
for the help, brother.
We were.
I know what I got there.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah, because we only had one.
Ah, we're only planning on one.
Yeah, so we had to share a crib. Just like we shared a room until we were like
Yeah.
25. Right?
Well,
They always gave us the big room and whatever else we were in, right?
Exactly. We got the master. And what else about us as we were a kid? So, were we good sleepers? Did we sleep through the night?
yes, you did.
Yeah. See?
Now I can't sleep through the night. I
I
hear every noise.
Got up all the time, seeing that they're still there.
Are they still there? They're being awfully quiet.
It's like me. It's like when I was in the hospital, they kept coming to check my heart rate because they're like, oh, it's not very high. What, are you still alive over there? So, yeah. So then, what did we like to eat when we were little? They have Cheerios back then?
Well, you had to.
Bananas.
What would you give us to shut up when we were hungry?
We were never hungry.
Told them, be quiet.
Right? Yeah. Mom said, be quiet. You better quiet.
Knock it off. So then, Pat was born.
Yeah.
We were in West Bend, right?
Yeah.
Did we all share the same room?
Yeah, I think they did because he had double beds, the up and down.
We had the
He
bunk beds.
climbed up.
We had bunk beds at them. We had to sleep with a noisy brother.
Yeah.
Was he a good sleeper? I see you rolled your eyes.
He was hungry. Every 2 hours he would be crying. I told the doctor, I says, he wants to eat. And he's let her. You do
That's
the
why he had the Burger
babe.
King. That's why he had the Burger King crown on the chair.
Yeah. Told him all that, feed him a little bit of, the cereal that they have for the babies.
Uh-huh.
And
And we had to sleep with that in the same room.
Up until that was 7th Avenue. On Locust, were we all in the same room?
Locust.
I guess we were.
Locust.
Yeah. Because that's the only bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't until Minnesota where we had the downstairs or upstairs, and we had to go through his bedroom to get upstairs.
So he was born in the morning or afternoon?
He was born in the morning.
Yeah. And you knew we were only having one that time, right?
Yeah. Well, I told the doctor, I says, if you you get one, I'll keep one.
I'm not taking 2 home.
Did you do anything special the night before he was born?
No.
No
bowling.
I was sitting at home.
No, but it was icy out.
Well, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Was it actually before or after Thanksgiving? Because I know his birthday always falls.
It was just before I had the turkey, and it started bleeding, and he says, just wait until a little bit more. So then Jerry came, and I says, take the turkey home to them because they don't have it, because I was going to bring it.
Yeah, there you go.
Had to finish the turkey first before.
Yeah. And they put, I forgot, a card on their basket in there. All night DJ.
Because he was loud.
Yeah.
He was a loud guy.
He cried a lot in the
hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He cried.
And then going back to Wakanda. So then we moved to Wakanda.
Yeah.
Jerry helped you out with the house, and he had that Mustang for a while, didn't you? He lived in the Mustang for a little while.
Yeah.
And we moved there. And you started working at the bank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were working at Arlington Federal before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you doing there? Just a teller?
I was a trainer.
Yeah.
The trained tellers.
And I got you into banking, so then when you moved to Wakanda, you worked at Wakanda National, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wavy Bank, which is still there and looks like an abandoned building.
Yeah.
With trees growing on the inside.
And she went to Libertyville.
Yeah.
It was Harris back then. Harris PMO. And how long did you work there? You worked there quite a while, didn't you?
It was quite a while, yeah.
They moved to Wisconsin,
until
right?
when they got closed off, the government came in and said, "Oh, you did the wrong." And there was banks were closing because they were to putting their money into banks down in Arizona and whatnot. And then they went under, and that's when Harris came in. And they were good. They were good.
In the meantime, you had that guy over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Was he working at the time, or is he sitting on the computer looking at dogs?
He was at dancing.
Dancing?
Oh.
What kind of dancing place?
For
This Foursquare?
adults.
Country line
No.
dancing?
No,
No?
no.
And he had a
He's
motorcycle,
like
so he was cool,
he's
right?
like
Like Elvis.
John Travolta
Yeah.
learned how to dance from me.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And then you decided to move up to Silver Lake?
Yeah.
Because we went to
We
college
got,
and you're like, see you later.
Yeah. Well, no, we moved up there.
After
You
grad-
went to what? The high school, Wakana.
Yeah, but we
After we
graduated, went to
graduated.
Northern.
I went to
Oh,
Northern.
and then you went to Northern.
Really
Yeah.
Kishwaukee then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Then you went to Florida.
then one summer you're like, we moved from Wakanda. No more room. Pick up your stuff. Yeah, how long did you spend in Silver Lake?
Was there for a while, weren't you?
Going up there.
Well,
It was a while.
1987 is when we bought the house, and 1990 is when we moved up here.
Hmm.
Only 3 years?
That was longer than that, but
That was longer than that, right?
well, you bought the property. Did you build the house?
But
Did you move
87,
in?
mate.
Well, we
That
bought
could
the
have
house
been.
here. and we
Yeah,
got-
because it
wait, I
was
take that
after
back.
you guys.
We bought this property
Property.
in 1990.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't move up here until
96.
It was after you got married.
yeah, 96. This house was built.
Mhm.
We waited for it to build, and then we had that most horrendous snowstorm we ever had.
Yeah.
So we got baptized. The temperatures in the 50s below zero.
And you said, I want to move up there.
Yeah, let's move further north.
Yeah.
I said, I'm moving further south. See you later.
Some people like skiing, other than water skiing.
Oh, did you see it?
A long time ago I did.
And then you moved up here to Spooner. You've been up here since then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Right?
So were you working in Silver Lake? Were you still working at the bank?
Mm.
Silver Lake? When we lived on Silver Lake, you were still working at the bank,
Bank
down,
down,
the line.
yeah, down in
Libertyville.
Libertyville.
And then when you moved up here,
We went to bank.
She worked at the bank up here.
did you start that right away or did you wait? You started right away when you moved up here, right? So you're a banking professional for most of your working.
I know she took a $25,000 a year cut in pay when she came up here.
Well, see, there's not much up here, so.
But I got caught
No
up
hassles up
pretty
here, though.
fast.
Yeah, they catch up.
They kept giving me,
Raises.
yeah.
You were a good worker.
Uh-huh. So then going back
But
to
it was, let me see. When I started up here, it was, okay, first bank,
First National Bank or something like that.
yeah. And then they sold out to, oh, what was the name of that one? That one was from California.
So they switched banks.
Bank of the
name.
West.
Bank of the
Bank of
West.
the
Yeah,
Worst.
Bank of the Worst. We always called them. Everybody called them the Bank of the Worst because they didn't know how to handle a small town.
They were big cities stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they.
Weren't allowed to put no Christmas trees up or nothing for
Yeah,
Christmas.
nothing, and
Really?
it was just, nobody liked it. Customers didn't like it either. So
They didn't last very long.
he was like a owner. Not an owner, but
Vice
a
president, kind of.
I forgot what's the first name of the bank that first run up here was under a different name, and then they sold it. That was really a good bank.
Yeah, there was first
community.
community.
Community First.
Yeah, or something. Yeah,
Community First National Bank.
Yeah.
That
and
was a good bank. They treated their people good there.
and everybody was leaving, and he was the like the president of our bank.
Yeah,
Bank.
branch.
Yeah, and he's got a couple people, and they started their own. And at that time, he wanted me to come, but I didn't like their benefits, because
You needed them, yeah.
with I needed a real good one.
Yeah.
And what did we do? We went there, and then the other guy that originally started that bank, he's sold it to some other bigger bank.
Big corporation.
Yeah. And then, but so they got the better health scare, and stuff. And it was pretty good. We were doing pretty good with it. And that was from Fargo. Bank in Fargo bought it out.
Wells Fargo. Uh-huh. So then going back to Jim and I, how'd you decide to name us? Where did our names come from?
Well, I had Jim. We had Jim.
Where'd Jim come from?
He was it was a Jim that was working at the radio and
Jim
and he
Masters.
was and he was the best man.
What did you hear?
All the
Squirrels on.
Now you see them. They've been out there all day. So did Grandpa have a brother, Jim?
Didn't come from there.
Yeah.
Well, Grandpa's name is Don. His brother's name is Jim.
They didn't expect me, so were you like panicking, like,
Right.
I don't know what to name them?
Well, they had it. It was James John.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Then they're like, you got another one.
nurses came and said, why don't you just name it John? And they go, no, That's the father. I said, I'm not having
A junior,
junior.
right?
Uh-huh.
And so then I just came up with my dad's name. And
Uh-huh. Named after both my grandpas.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And where did Pat's name come from? Just Patrick?
Well, that was when Pat came, and I go, I gotta have the word Patrick for
Got to be in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right?
And Edwin's after great grandpa.
Yeah.
You know, it's Edwin. It was Edward, right?
Yeah, Patrick Edward.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of makes sense. So, what was the most annoying thing between both of us when we were little? Where you said, man, I wish they would knock that off.
You picked on Pat all the
Take the
time.
fifth.
Right?
Well, before Pat was born, were we annoying at all, or were we just like little angels all the time?
Yeah. But he got back at it, you guys.
So we didn't.
He could stand up with it.
We didn't have any annoying habits or anything. We didn't
No.
cry when we didn't get candy at the grocery store. Or,
No, because you wouldn't get it.
Doesn't matter how much you grind, you're not getting it.
Grandma always bought it when we went shopping with her.
I got a nephew made a lasting impression on me. Because as soon as he got his teeth, he was a biting little bastard. So he'd bite everybody. So it's bleed.
There you go. Yeah,
Damn near knocked all his teeth out one time.
Grandma would take us shopping and she'd get us all the good cereal and she'd get us the ice
Yeah.
cream, take us to the American Soda
Soda.
Water Company. We'd pick out what we wanted
Yeah.
to drink. So
Back when Pick and Save, you'd write the prices on the
exactly, we get the
package.
crayons.
And they trust you for writing the right number on there.
Exactly. And we'd always argue about who sat in the front seat with Grandma because the dashboard was, or the front seat was always up against the dashboard. So
We used to go to the grocery store with you guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One ran one way and the other ran the other way.
What were we trying to get?
They didn't have carts back then for us. They only had one seat, so you could put one in the seat and one in the.
I
Yeah.
must have been running towards the beer, you might have- towards the ice cream. I don't know. Candy, the licorice.
Right. So then, after we were born, you were on a bowling show.
Yeah.
What was that all about? Or when was
No,
that?
no, it was a music one down in Madison.
Down in, that'd be
You
up,
were on, you guys.
up and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just small.
How old were we? A couple weeks.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it wasn't before 1 year,
No.
And you were helping Dad out
and
and just left us in the back room.
yeah, they put in the room, and then when you got onto TV,
They brought us
They
out and
brought
said, look
him
what we
in."
found backstage.
Oh, that was our first TV appearance.
Yeah.
Huh? So see, we're stars at the beginning. Go back to your family then. Traditions. How did you guys celebrate birthdays and Christmas? With all the kids
Birthday?
in us. Yeah. Did you do anything
We have a
special
cake.
for a birthday?
you got a birthday cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to wear the hat and everybody said happy birthday.
Oh, they had it. Blew out this
The candles.
candles, and
Yeah.
he just no, they sometimes there was some where they had a birthday party,
Yeah.
had kids from school come. I think everyone had that at one time or another.
Did you have a pool party for your birthday?
No,
No.
For your
it's
graduation.
cold.
I guess
March
it
is
was
cold.
March. I guess that was March, right?
For your
Yeah.
graduation.
The graduation,
Right.
they came.
Oh,
Robert's the one that had all the pool parties.
exactly.
Yeah.
But then for Christmas, that
Chris-
that had to be a zoo because it was just 6 kids. And was it just your family, or did anybody else come over during Christmas?
Well, what it was is our Christmas with Grandma and Grandpa was on the Sunday after Christmas.
That's
In
where that
between.
that's where that tradition began.
Yeah, because
Great-grandma and
at
grandma?
Christmas we were at my grandparents, and
I remember
Yeah,
going
all
up there a
the
few
aunt-
times. Yeah.
but
With the big
It-
fireplace.
we opened our presents the morning of Christmas.
Christmas morning.
Yeah, and the one thing was Dick. He took all the tags off of
Presents.
the presents because the presents were all had the same paper.
Oh yeah, they always had the same paper. They
I
liked
had that paper forever.
that.
I don't know where she got that roll, but that thing lasted a long time.
Yeah.
So then everybody opened up and said, "That's not yours. That's
No.
mine."
Can't have it.
So then Christmas.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
And then
Yeah.
after my grandparents died, we had, there was enough kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, the family
You
started to
coming
grow
in and-
with the cousins and everything.
Yeah. And we would invite John's
Yeah.
mother and
Yeah.
father and brother.
Yeah.
The boys.
Yeah.
Go get them.
And Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So
We had a whole table full. It was
when you were little, did anybody else come over, or was it just you and Grandma and Grandpa?
No. Wait. With that, we were at Grandma and Grandpa's
Yeah.
house. But after that,
Same with Christmas. They started
Yeah.
to do it there at their house.
yeah.
So when you were up at Great Grandma and Grandpa's in Manchas, that was
That's
probably a
fun.
zoo because you had 50 kids there.
Yeah. Yeah, just about. They would,
Get
get
their
a
own,
prize and
would they get their own turkey, or were they?
Every family had their own turkey.
yeah, they had.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Did they raise the turkeys? And
No,
no,
they just cooked them.
imagine you could do it with one turkey.
Yeah.
They had all kinds of pies and whatnot. Because there's a lot of people there.
They'd have the spread, and
Yeah.
then all the guys would go out and play cards afterwards,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
All by the
Play
fireplace.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were throwing all the paper and stuff in the fireplace.
Yeah.
We used to
Playing
play.
in the barns.
Did you ever eat a wild turkey?
Uh,
I drank one.
Wild turkey is like, hey, look at what we got in the yard.
What do we got?
We got 2 deer.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow, never mind.
No,
Shadow,
Right?
you sit.
one's a little buck.
Sit.
The back one's a buck. Hey, eating my lilac bush, you little bastard.
Oh, it was fun.
Shadow.
No, you can't. No, 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 no.
Nibble this on my lilac bush. I've been waiting for that to grow for about 12 years.
Well, really now.
Shadow, simmer down.
Really, guy was scared him away, Shadow. Good boy. Good girl.
Huh?
Shadow scared him away.
Don't growl or
Shadow scared him away.
Yeah. Big mouth.
I know. Where gets that from? All right, what
Scared
else?
him off.
Suppose.
Should I?
Yeah.
Behind it. Just went
No.
east. So
All right. Almost over. What do you got?
I don't have much left. So, where's one place that you haven't gone to travel wise that you like to go to?
Ireland.
Ireland? Yeah. Drink some good Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Irish. No,
Go see
no,
your
you can go out later. Just
Shadow.
hey, down. Take it down.
It's okay. Right here. It's okay. It's all right.
I had
We got you.
She wanted to go
What-
out and chase some
I
deer.
know.
one of the guys owns a restaurant, and he would make Irish cream.
Ah,
And, oh, it was good.
So,
good stuff, huh?
any particular place in Ireland or just Ireland in general?
Probably in general, I would be nice to see where's what.
Yeah.
You get all wound up about the deer coming in with small antlers, and you went for another one with a small antler.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
shadow down,
You're not coming out. Maybe
Down.
later if you're good, all right? Okay? I know. Maybe later if you're good.
shadow.
I know.
She's
Get under
pretty-
the
she's
table.
Pretty strong dog, ain't she? You pat her on the
Oh,
leash
yeah.
before. Huh?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
How would you think you're trying to handle a leash on a Kangal?
All right.
They're 3 times as strong as her.
So, did you have a favorite singer? A
At
heartthrob?
first, it was Perry Como
Barry Como?
What about Bobby Darin?
Mhm.
You like him?
and Dean Martin.
Oh, no, those are old guys. You like any of those young singers? Elvis?
Yeah, I got Elvis later, but I liked
Yeah.
other ones.
No, those 50s or 60s.
Johnny Mathis, Bobby Darin.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dean.
Right?
He didn't sing good. Actors?
Actors.
No Hollywood people that you had crushes on when
Had
you were
a
a
poster
little
up
girl?
in your bedroom when you were growing up?
No. Mm-mm.
No.
No idols?
Ricky Nelson.
Ricky, that's the one. That's I remember Ricky Nelson,
It's
right?
on the TV.
Yeah.
What else you got?
So the other thing you could tell us about Grandma and Grandpa that we'd be surprised about. Something that we didn't know or wouldn't know.
Hmm. I don't know.
Like Grandma like motorcycles or something.
No, they never were on a motorcycle.
No.
I was.
Yeah.
Drove a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, my dad climbed St. Pete's Church to fix the bell
Up on top.
way on top.
Was he hired to do that, or they just said we need
Well,
somebody to fix it?
they couldn't find anybody to do it, so he did it.
Yeah. And he climbed all the way up there.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it. She don't know. She wasn't up there.
What do you have to do?
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Make the bells work.
Yeah,
So he climbed
Well,
all up there.
he climbed up there, and,
Probably a little duct tape and sheet metal.
and
They
they
had a
just
couple of shots before he went up there. Though.
Making everything work, right?
Well, he didn't drink a lot, right? Grandpa
no.
No, I was.
did. Right. Grandpa did, or Grandma did,
Yeah, she had a beer every night
right?
Yeah.
because the doctor told her she's
was
got to
good for
you gotta gain some weight.
Ah,
So drink a bottle of beer every night.
And
she did.
religiously.
And if it was hot out, maybe too. Right?
what was her favorite beer?
And
The cheapest
the,
one.
the cheapest one.
Cheapest one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sledge, red, white, and blue.
Uh-huh.
Uber,
Alright, should we do that? Eat our potato chips or pretzels and do the green cheat?
popcorn.
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 Yeah.
And then she does her puzzle.
Crossword puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And great grandma would eat her ice cream every night.
Yeah.
And beer. Beer and ice cream? Great grandma too?
No.
I'm,
Did she have beer?
I thought she had a beer and ice cream every night, but and watch
Could
wrestling.
yeah, wrestling. Yeah.
and roller derby.
Yeah.
She liked to watch it every.
And she had to deal with Robert downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all the stuff I have for now.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
If you think of some more,
So what is all this
those are
stuff?
all kind of the different questions to ask you. Just
He wrote it down, but he wrote it so small I can't read it.
I want to fit on one page.
Tell me about your first home.
Yeah, you did. I think we answered most of them. So you didn't have any
Where
pets.
is one place you haven't gone
Yeah,
yet?
you said Ireland.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
For now, no. Anything else you want to tell us? Like,
Any secrets
like
about
I'm your
us?
favorite?
Is there anything you want to confess to?
Well,
well, did you know we were having a party at the house when you came over early when we were in college and Pat was in high school?
no, she does now.
Mm.
It wasn't our party, was it?
It's Pat's party.
Yeah.
You know, if the neighbors complained or whatever, but you weren't supposed to be home till the next day and you came home early and
Yeah.
they had fruit rinds all over the front yard and
We always had our friends over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Get my ice cream out of the freezer.
wow, that was just a party place.
Come over after the games. Everybody come over after the games.
So you had to tell the story about Jennifer's. The cheerleaders going to look out for Nick Sabler.
You guys had a hell of a coach, I'll tell you that.
All right.
The worst coach I've ever seen.
So
the night the cheerleaders were going to surprise us.
Mm-hmm.
We got tipped off that they were going to surprise us, so everybody came over and stayed at our house, right?
Yeah.
and everybody's parents were told to say
Yeah. Every parents that
they were home.
Yeah, that they were home. Everybody said that they were home in bed, and I think they went over. They went over to the Sabler's house, and Mrs. Sabler answered the door and said, in her German voice, says, "Go to Schaller's." So that's how they knew how to find us. So they found us there, and they took us out for breakfast and did that. But yeah, every time we had a party, all the cheerleaders would be in the kitchen talking to Mom.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, what are you doing?
Talk to them.
I know you did. Talk to all our friends.
Yeah. We only had a few parties.
Yeah.
I just remember our graduation when Jerry came down. For a present, he gave us like a 24 pack of PBR.
Yeah. 16 ounce.
Big cans. Mm-hmm. The good old days. And then we played wiffle ball in the backyard. You didn't like that, did you? Because we tore up your lawn.
No, it's the basketball.
They put the bars up on
When
the
I
window.
was getting the phone calls from the police department, tell them to stop.
What did we do? Because we were playing basketball?
Yeah,
The neighbors didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cop came in and put the spotlight on the basket so you guys could buy
Oh,
it.
yeah, all right. Say what kind of police were in Alabama?
Exactly.
You ever hear that? Thump, 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 thump,
Yeah.
thump, thump, thump.
Exactly. Now it's all pickleball, and people get annoyed over pickleball. But yeah, we were good kids. We weren't. We had good parties.
Boys are boys.
Yeah, Grandpa put up on the
Reinforce the rim.
bars because we broke kids didn't break the window. Oh, that's what we forgot. Remember in Arlington Heights, the first day of work at the bank, and it was raining a little bit, and we were playing basketball, and we were
Jim's
good
taking-
basketball players
Jim was taking
practicing
it.
our last second shots from the end of the driveway, and the ball slipped and hit the front big picture window and broke the big picture window and put a little hole in the window behind it. And we had to call you at the bank and said, "Mom, we broke the window on your first day of work."
Mm-hmm.
Or the days we would hide up behind the backboard up on the roof and pelt Pat with tennis balls. We were good brothers.
Yeah.
Or we threw firecrackers in his room when he was sleeping. We were nice, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
But we were three boys. Then you took us out to California
Yep.
for a vacation.
Yep.
Yeah. We drove all the way right because we couldn't fly.
No, we
flew.
flew. We
Did
flew
we
out.
fly?
Yeah, we
That
flew
was our
out.
first plane
I
flight.
didn't remember. our
Yeah,
flight.
we went to
You went to San Diego.
San
San
Francisco. We
Yeah.
landed.
Yeah.
And then we got the car and
Drove up California
Drove down.
one. I was scared, but I remember that. Don't get too close to those cliffs.
yeah.
You know, that deer could be a pretty damn good sized buck come time to hunting season because big as he's this long already.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
the antlers. They grow an inch a day.
Mm.
And hunting season a
Not
long
the
ways
same.
away.
Yeah.
So then we drove all the way up to San Diego and LA, right? Or we drove
Yeah,
down to
we
San
went
Diego
then
and
down
LA.
to see Robert.
We went to
It's
Universal. We didn't
there.
go to Disney though, right?
No,
I remember going to Universal because you got Pat between the
yeah,
No,
fake jail bars.
they had gone to Disney beforehand.
Yeah,
yeah.
but we didn't.
No,
Yeah, we just went to Universal.
yeah, and saw Robert.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we flew back. That was a big vacation. Then we did the St. Louis trip.
That was when we were younger.
Well, it was 1983 after the Brewers lost the World Series. She took us to St. Louis.
Oh,
We
right,
the Cardinal game.
Oh, he said, if you don't behave, I'm going to take you back to San Francisco. Behind the hills.
To Alcatraz.
The hills. Or driving up the hills,
Yeah,
trying to park.
exactly.
Mhm.
How long were we out there? What, a week or two?
I wonder whatever
About a
happened to
week.
my rangefinders.
Yeah.
We could go out and get
Yeah.
the flags put up. Two of them, they're both gone.
I'm gonna have to pull out everything in the closet.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
All right.
Now it's ice cream time again.
Again.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go out and get ice cream or something.